Good morning. It is Saturday, October 23rd. Unusual, no movie night, 2 weeks in a row. What can I say? When there's nothing there interesting, I'm not going to waste my time or yours. I thought this was going to be what I've been waiting a whole year for. It has been over a year when I first learned that they were going to release a Dune remake. And I was excited because contrary to the other popular people in the world that did not like the 1984 version, I did. So I was like, okay, we gonna get a Dune remake with Zendaya, Jason Momoa, Javier, I don't know your last name, but I do know you from No Country for Old Men. And what's the other man? The man who played Thanos? Yes, all them was in. I was like, good choice of actors and actresses. Yes, and the diversity. We have African American actors in this. We have Asian actors in this. I loved it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. I can't wait. Only to get there last night and see an hour, 1 hour, and I decided I'm not gonna go live. So this Dune movie, I will give it this. It was visually compelling and the acting was good. It was actually damn good. But why did I walk away from this movie not liking it? Maybe because it's half of book one, which is like making a movie out of the least exciting part of the novel. I didn't understand that decision. I really didn't. I feel like if they were gonna do that, they could have at least focused on the action and the exciting part of book one, but they focused on nothing but the explanation, the talking and dialogue. It's like choosing to do Lord of the Rings, and right before Frodo leaves on the adventure, they cut the movie off. Which, by the way, if you are not familiar with Dune and you're trying to get in the mind frame of what this Dune thing is about, just put yourself in the mind frame of Matrix meets Mad Max. So now, back to why I probably walked away. It just didn't make sense to cut this movie off the way it did. It didn't make sense to even highlight the portion of the book in this movie the way it did. It just didn't make sense to me. And they needed to stretch it out in 2 hours. I feel like that was a problem with the 1984 version. They tried to compact everything into the movie in that short a time, so it caused it to be unbalanced and just all over the place. But in my opinion, also what doomed the Dune 1984 is, keep in mind that by the time it came out, we already had a complete trilogy of Star Wars to compare it to. It wasn't gonna make it. I will say though, for some reason, the older version, the 80s version of Dune, was more entertaining. USA Today came out with an article this morning and they agree with me that they found the older version a little bit more entertaining, because at some point it got to the point. This movie left you hanging, and I get it. They want to go and do like this whole sequel thing. I believe if you're going to be adapting a book into a film, such as Dune, Frank Herbert's Dune that came out in the 60s, it's okay to have plot holes. It's okay, because guess what? If you want details, order the paperback. That's how I feel. There's no need for all that. Get straight to it. Also, I feel like as much as we humans want to put a newer remake on a higher pedestal, let's not forget that this whole new shit actually was blueprinted from the 80s version. Everything you see, that was the 80s version, is the makeout. What that did, even though people talk so much crap on it and judge it for its worst, it actually set the visual bar for what Dune looks like. So what you're seeing is actually the same thing. So, it's such a far out sci-fi series that when you break it down, it really is just a good old family soap opera drama with a lot of premonition dreams and prophecies. That's why I said it's a mixture of Matrix with Mad Max. The Mad Max being that they're at war for resources. Same premise. If you do not care to watch this, then I am going to do a little quick recap. But before I do, I've always wondered what Scott Ridley's version would have looked like. He was first pitched back in the 70s to do this film, and because they did not go directly into producing it, he backed out. He wanted to get on it right away, and they did not have the money and the everything planned out, I guess, at that time. So he was like, look, you guys are wasting my time, and he walked away. And so now I'm like, I wonder what the sci-fi king James Cameron would have did with this. I also was very curious to see if Christopher Nolan could have did this too. I mean, he has a very creative visual mind, and I would be curious. Drop down if you would be curious to see this done by Christopher Nolan or James Cameron. Okay, so here is the recap. This storyline focuses on two families who both want control of the main resource of the universe, and its resource of spice. So what is spice? It is definitely not that drug that make you go crazy that people were smoking on about 5 years ago. It's not that. What it is it is a sort of hallucinant that can allow you to travel through dimensions in space and control people's minds. So yeah, it is very valid. It's very much needed in that universe, in that world, and it's vital to life. And as the Baron said, whoever controls the spice controls the universe. The Atreides family, who lives by the ocean, they have the rights to the spice crops. They work hand in hand with the Freemans, because the Freemans live on this planet called Arcadius, and that is where the spice is made from. And they are the ones who go out into that desert and do a laboring to get the spice and sell it and trade it to the Arcadius family and their land, okay, their planet. So then you have Paul. Paul is the heir, and he has a dual birthright because there's a secret that his mom is keeping, okay, because he is the one, he's a special super being, and along with the Emperor and the Arcanians, who I'll talk about in a minute, they don't want that prophecy to come true because the super being can control everything through mind, through everything, and he's also allergic to spice because he doesn't need the hallucinogen because he has that gift already, right? And the reason why you see Zendaya's character as a Freeman and him joining being so much, because when he drinks the water of life, that's when all of that will come. Just like Neo in Trinity. Then you have the Harkanians, which is led up of an uncle and a nephew, the Baron and the Beast. They both are very inhumane, very grotesque. I believe they survive off of oil, blood, and plasma or something like that. And so they want to rule everything. They want to eliminate everybody but their kind and control the spice so that they can have all the power in the realm. The Arcanians make false prophets of peace to only use those promises against others so that they could infiltrate Atreides' home, destroy Paul's home, drive him out with his mother. They killed his father because the prophecy, like I said, they don't want that to happen. But what they don't know is that they actually are aiding to it happen by driving Paul and his mother out of their home and out to the desert and out into Arrakis. It brings him to his future wife, who he will produce and have a son, and they will come back and avenge his home, his father's death, gain back control of the spice, and bring peace among his people and the Freemans, because he is the one. Now here's my main reason for going what the hell at the end of this film. I don't like it when they try to break stuff up into installments, especially if it hasn't even been confirmed or green lighted for the release of the sequels. So now, and then in this day and age too, sequels are not guaranteed They're just not. They get pushed back, and once they get pushed back, audience lose interest. Also, sequels can sometimes be chopped up and go down the shitter. And, you know, when that happens, it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, so why didn't y'all just do this all in one whop? It can be shelved, you know, some big CEO, some big production can be like at the studios, they didn't get their Starbucks on time that morning, and so you know what, let's just shelve part 2 of Dune till 2025. So in my head, my conclusion of this is that sequel better happen. I waited a year. It better happen. That's all I say. And it better happen next year while it's fresh and still hype. Not 2025, not 2030, or not all, you know what, we gotta fight because no. It just can get to the point where I don't want the momentum to go there. I mean, this is dumb. We could give 2 shits in 5 years about the sequel. I'm just saying. So I really am crossing my fingers that they stay consistent. I don't know why they don't try to just go ahead and make... I read headlines on an article that says Dune may be too big for TV, but I disagree. I feel like some projects, especially adapted for books, may be better as a series. It just is. Listen. I don't know about anybody else, but I am loving I Know What You Did Last Summer as a series. I am. I think it makes more sense sometimes, especially in this day and age that we're living in, where binge watching is the thing. So Dune with the, I don't know, okay, let me slow down. Get it. It's hard to keep on board big major actors and actresses to a series, tied to a series. I get that. It's very rare, and the amount of actors and actresses of high caliber that they chose to do this film would have probably not been possible for a consistent like 8 series movie, television or app series. I get it, you know, so am I looking forward to the sequel? Yes. Because of the way this movie ended, that's probably the only smart move from this, is it does make you be like, okay, now I'm ready to see part 2 because of the way part 1 was left off. But again, don't make me wait too long, because then I'm going to lose interest. And if any other blockbuster has come out that is your competitor, sorry, I will go to that. Listen, sometimes there's a reason why they try to push everything into one movie. Trust me. So hopefully things are already set in stone and we will see part 2 come out. But I would like a question to be answered. How many installments are you going to break this down into? Because I believe there is 5 books. And that's why I say this probably should have been a series. Because even doing a part 2 will not tell you the complete story of Dune. It just won't. Okay? So I don't know what kind of justice they're going to do to Frank Herbert's series of books, but I am interested to see the sequel. I will say that. Only because you left me with a cliffhanger. Only because of that reason. Okay, that's it. So I want to hear what you guys felt in the comment section about this movie. Comment below. I want to hear. Do you think this movie should have been a series to binge on, episode by episode, or do you even the fact that it came out with just half of the first book, or did you prefer to just get the entire story in one whop? I want to hear what you thought. What's your rating? My rating, I'll take it because of the actors and because of the visuals. It definitely deserves an 8, a solid 8. And I am not wrong and too far from off that rating, because if you go right now and check most of the major sites that rate movies, it's the same. Probably about an 8 out of 10, 80%. I think Rotten Tomatoes gave it like 83%. So yeah, it's a solid watch. Would I recommend watching it on a date? No, because your date may fall asleep. I recommend watching this movie on a day when you just don't have anything else to do and you want to watch something rather interesting and different, and you're a sci-fi fan? Check it out, okay? That's what you do. Rainy day, you know, house is clean, yard work is done, the honey-do list is complete. Watch Dune. HBO Max, I believe it will be there until November 21st. So from beginning to end credits, it's 2 hours and 35 minutes, so it is lengthy. Yeah, that's about it. So hopefully next week will be an actual live movie night reaction as we usually do on the channel on a Friday. I will see you then. Thumbs up this video to support the channel, please. And yeah, have a good weekend. Peace.